Hello. My daughter started high school yesterday, and it brought up a lot of feelings for me. And I started to remember things about how I felt when I started high school and throughout my high school. And it's a hard time for me. Uh, I remembered this poem that I wrote expressing how I felt about the world that I was inheriting. We are brothers, we recite, yet between ourselves we fight. We look at others through blinded eyes, so separate and civilized. If you're not in my mirror, you may be sold. Yet we are brothers, I am told. I wasn't in touch with my anger at that time, but it came out in my poetry. And I see it in my daughter. We Zoom regularly, and last night we Zoomed, and she felt angry. She felt, of course, she would call it annoyed. She said, "I learned more about life in summer camp than in school," and I totally get what she's saying. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it occurs to me that there are stages of development and awakening, and that being angry at the world is a very helpful stage, as long as you don't stay there. I would say the first stage of life is feeling helpless and powerless about how dysfunctional the world is. And that's when your beliefs are unchallenged, your perceptions are unquestioned. It's just a cold, cruel world, and I've got to deal with it. So that's the victim place. It's a helpless victim place. And then very often there is this anger that wells up inside of us. Do you remember the movie Network, Faye Dunaway? Oh, it's an old movie, but anyway, Network it's called. And one of the characters, he opens his window and shouts out to all his neighbors, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." And that was an empowering victim place. It's like you're starting to get in touch with your power and your feelings. It's authentic. And it's a lot better than just passive, helpless, this is just the way it is. So I'm seeing that anger in my daughter, and I'm encouraging it. But there is a stage that hopefully we get to after that, and that is to recognize that the dysfunction, the insanity that we see out there is a projection from our own minds, our own beliefs. And we're the ones that are dealing with insanity. And looking out upon the world and seeing it as insane is just a reflection of what's going on inside your head. So that's more like taking responsibility. And there are other stages after that, like beginning to heal the mind, beginning to have loving kindness for yourself and others. And it's the kindness that we come up with, that we cultivate, that heals the sick and raises the dead and reverses mental illness, because we are all in this together, and we are all in one big mental institution called the world. If you weren't mentally ill, you wouldn't be here. So where do we go from here? I don't know, but I'll continue to articulate my journey, and I'll continue to support you in yours. Have a wonderful day. This is Scott Grace signing out for the moment.